What's up, everybody? All right, guys. So I've been talking about the 80s cards for the longest time on my channel, about kind of how I thought they were undervalued. I've done multiple videos where I suggested buying high-end 80s cards, multiple videos, and hopefully you guys listen to my advice. Because cards, especially during this pandemic, from the 80s, especially the junk wax era, these cards have gone insane. I mean, I just saw an 84 Donruss Mattingly and a PSA 10 go for like $3,500. I saw the 84 Fleer update Clemens go for about $2,100. And it's gotten to the point where, you know, it just makes sense to kind of move on, maybe put a pause on buying these types of cards. As much as I love them, you know, and they, you know, why I think a lot of people are going to them is it kind of, you know, a lot of people my age are getting back into the hobby and want to collect the cards that they collected as a kid, you know, and in the best condition possible. But it's gotten to the point now where these cards from the 80s are just getting out of hand, to be completely honest with you. And cards that I saw as undervalued, speaking of which, this card here, cards that I was talking about for years now on this channel as undervalued, are now, you know, tripling, quadrupling. Sometimes I don't even know what comes after that. Just been going crazy lately. And, I'm just really glad that I listened to my own advice because, you know, I got these cards really cheap. Obviously now would be a good time to sell, but, you guys know I don't sell my cards. Maybe one day I will. But, you know, right now I'm not looking to sell any of these cards. The interesting thing is I'll probably come back to them at some point. But right now I just don't find any interest in, spending thousands of dollars on a junk wax era card, you know, even if it's in a high grade, like a PSA 10. So I decided to pick up one final card, probably overpaid for it. But it was just that last card that I was really looking for. There is one more card, the 86 Topps Tiffany Bonds, in a 10 that I'd love to get one day. But just, you know, with the way prices are right now, I don't know. I just can't pull the trigger on the prices. I think it's over $3,000 now. But there is one final card that I got for my personal collection that I've added just the other day, and it'll probably be the last card I buy. You know, if I had a PSA registry for the cards that I wanted from the 80s, I basically filled that registry except for maybe one or two cards. And here is the final card that I've added to my 80s collection. All right, guys. So without further ado, by the way, this is sponsored by Coronavirus. Thank you for making my 80s baseball cards incredibly valuable. So without further ado, here is probably the final 80s card, 80s junk wax era card that I'll buy for a while. You know, it all comes in cycles, and it is the 89 Topps traded Tiffany Ken Griffey Jr. In a PSA 10. Absolutely beautiful. This costed me a pretty penny. Probably could have gotten this card for a third of the price, maybe about a year ago. But there is a reason why I think this is actually kind of undervalued even right now, even with the way things are going right now. So number one is, of course, Topps Project 2020. So they're going to be, you know, doing more and more of this. Topps Project, 20 artists will be doing this card. I think there's about 4 or 5 Griffeys that have been done so far. So we're talking about like 10 to 15 more copies of the 89 Topps Griffey that are going to be done throughout the year. And of course, as people, it's like marketing. It's like great marketing for this particular card. And of course, this is the Tiffany version of that card. So now also to compare it to the 89 Upper Deck PSA 10. So the 89 Upper Deck PSA 10, which at one point was going for about $1,500. I think it was going for even higher than that. There are 3,800 PSA 10s of the 89 Upper Deck. So this particular card, there are only about 323 or something like that of the PSA 10 Tiffany Griffey and a PSA 10. So that, just goes to show that the population on this particular card is very, very limited. So I think it could be a card that's undervalued, but beautiful, beautiful card. But like, as I said, 80s cards are just going insane. So probably will take a nice hiatus from it. Final thing I wanted to mention is I've added to the GOAT collection. So you guys see here, I got the Jordan, got the Ruth in baseball, got Gretzky in hockey, Tom Brady in football, and decided to add another GOAT to the collection, and it is the Tiger Woods, the 2001 Upper Deck Golf Tiger Woods in a PSA 10. These are pretty cheap. The only problem with this particular card, so it goes for about $200 in a PSA 10, but the problem with this card is that there are, I think, 8,600 PSA 10s of the 2001 Upper Deck. So as I was saying with this one, a little over 300 of these. There are 8,600 of these. So while, and by the way, I want to mention that I realize that a lot of people might say Jack Nicklaus is the greatest golfer of all time. I just think that, when it comes to, Jack Nicklaus in his prime, Tiger Woods in his prime, in my opinion, Tiger Woods wins. So anyway, that is the Tiger Woods card. So I've added to the GOAT collection. Now I have 5 GOATs. And while I was buying that, just because I thought it was such a, for $200 to get the greatest golfer of all time in a 10, I decided to go ahead and buy another one and another one and another one of them. So I bought 4 of these. Just thought it was a good, a great investment. Tiger Woods, he's won, it's hard to believe he won another Masters last year, and of course won that tournament where he played with Peyton Manning. So I know that was just a charity event, but he's still doing his thing. He's still, he still has the ability to win, major tournaments. So who knows? He could still win a couple more championships before all is said and done. And, when his career is over, people might appreciate him even more. So there you have it, guys. That is my latest 80s pickup and my latest GOAT. All right, there you have it, guys. One final view of the cards from the 80s. All in a nice little row. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you later. Peace.